All right, so my name is Brian Turner. I'm over on the east coast of Florida. I basically take care of Brevard County. So for us challenged Floridians, that's basically the east coast, directly from Orlando all the way to Homestead. Alex Snyder, he's picking up some grub for us. We can munch on. He's the new Southwest Florida, so he takes Sarasota all the way down into Naples, and all those areas.
Okay.
You can contact me at any time. We talked about the district sales manager. His name is Blair Orsatti. He's in this market as well. He's up in the Tampa area. We've got a gentleman that's in Tampa proper that runs basically all of the sales out of that location. We've got one guy in Orlando proper, since Orlando is just such a large area. And we've got a gentleman up north that runs basically Daytona to Jacksonville out towards the west coast. Almost to Panama City. Pensacola gets picked up in the Alabama market, which is a weird one, but whatever. We're trying to get Pensacola back. I brought IKO into the market in 2012 through 15 when nobody knew who the hell IKO was. We came into the Florida market as a residential new construction product. Cambridge, that was it. That was all there was back then. We came into the market, we basically did every D.R. Horton roof in the state of Florida. Still doing a significant amount of those. Adams, Pulte, Miranda, all your big national builders are very familiar with IKO. ABC Supplies for the most part, the one that brought us in with them, and that's kind of where we grew the business. I left in 15, at the end of 15, and went into the low slope market. Did a lot of waterproofing, went to Geico Western. So I know a little bit about manufacturing, and then I wanted to be like you guys, and I wanted to be a contractor myself. So I contracted for many years on the residential side, not only inside the home, but the exterior. So I did all the interior remodeling and then got my roofing license. Kids are older now, I'm moving out of the house, and I sold my business a few years back to my brother-in-law, and now I'm back in the IKO world. So with basically the same people that started in Florida. So all the people I started with now are in the
just a circle.
What's
up, guys?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, I love Jimmy John's. You can throw it over there in that back, and we can go grab this.
Perfect.
Oh.
So Alex has only been here for a few months?
Yeah, a few months. Came from the Atlanta area.
Atlanta.
What's Alex's last name?
Snyder.
It's a nice setup y'all got.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you.
Sir. Great location.
I like the merch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So get you one.
Yeah.
This guy's a merch guy. He loves the merch, dude.
Always
Loves
So
the
that's a
merch.
one-off somewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
where that came from.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, we'll get y'all some.
All right,
nice
bet.
order.
All right.
No, we want that one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we'll have one question before that
All right,
happens.
bet. All right.
I'm gonna get rid of Alex's hat for it. So that's kind of my story, where I come from. Did some contracting, was in the roofing business for a minute. So ultimately, our goal today is really talk about challenges for y'all, right? I mean, here we are coming into, you got those cute stickers on the side of your vehicles, those other 3 letters that are out there. And what are those challenges going to be for you to be successful, right? So I can come here and tell you everything about our business, but it doesn't make a whole bunch of sense unless we understand and look at this market. Because this market is completely different from the market in Southeast Florida, right? It's different than what you're going to see in Central Florida. It's going to be different from what you see in Okeechobee and all of those surrounding areas. So let's look at product, let's look at challenges, let's look at what I like to call the tail of the tape. We're looking at UFC or boxing or whatever it is. When you go into a market, I don't want to ever hear you guys talking about IKO only, right? I mean, you guys should be talking about the other logo that's on your shirt. But what is going to differentiate your sale in that home or with that HOA, condo association, that's going to make them comfortable when you get that, or Mike gets that challenge of, GAF, when they bring that up, or OC, or whatever else. You're never going to hear me say anything negative about any other manufacturer. Let's be real. I bet you nobody knows. That other logo, the Pink Panther, we ran the backbone of that shingle, that duration shingle, was manufactured in the exact same plant as a joint venture with us for 25 years. That joint ventures now over. Is up in Danville, Illinois. So there's a lot of things that aren't proprietary, right? We've got a fiberglass mat. We saturate it on both sides with some asphalt. We throw some sprinkles on it. So IKO is very cool. Mike, I'm glad you brought it up. Mike could probably run this meeting by what he learned in 5 minutes. But we're a vertically integrated company. We're family owned. We suck at marketing and the fact that not everybody knows exactly what we do. We are the largest manufacturer of asphalt, or actually the largest manufacturer of roofing products in the world. GAF is in North America, right? When Jacksonville, we've got a plant that's being built right now in Jacksonville. When that plant's done, we're going to be the largest in North America as far as having more 4-wide laminators than anybody else. Did any of you guys stone coated, Decra, all those Tilcord? We own them. We've owned them for 7 years.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Why? So when I say we suck at marketing, don't take that the wrong way. But
Right.
why does not everybody in the world know that?
Yeah.
We're huge, and the reason is it's a family-run business. They run business a little bit differently. They're just very humble, right? They're like, listen, every dollar that we make is going to go right back into our infrastructure and our manufacturing capabilities. Talking about that, so we can see what the Southeast means, because you guys are here for a reason, right? So in the Southeast right now, we've got about $1 billion in investments in the ground. We mine, crush, and color in granules. So we have a plant right now in St. Louis, just outside of St. Louis, that will pull rock out of there for the next 60 years. So we'll crush that rock, color it, and then distribute it to our manufacturing facilities all over the U.S. Right now it's coming out of Canada. We've got 2 fiberglass plants in Chester, South Carolina, which is they're basically, I bet you they're operational at this point. We're just not pulling product out of it yet to go to the other plants. So that joint venture with OC for so many years has been gone for now. For a little while, we're still pulling product from there, but we're going to be controlling that in-house as well, right out of South Carolina. So one is a chopped fiber mat, the other is the actual roll goods mat facility. And the biggest is that plant that's in Jacksonville. So once that, let's just say the end of the year, that will be producing product. That's going to put a significant
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Cheaper for
It's
us.
going to be huge, right? I mean, right now everything's coming from Sylacauga, Alabama. That plant was really
Allocations also are gonna go dramatically
away.
down
Yeah.
for them, period.
Okay.
They're talking about 4 major plants rolling at the same time at that
So
point?
there will be 3 facilities that are there. Residential, the 4-wide laminator is the first one that's going in, right? So we're going to produce shingles out of there. The next 2 plants,
That's in Jacksonville.
that is just outside of Jacksonville. It's in Clay County there, right off that I-10 corridor. Just take I-10 and look at the railroad track, and that's where you'll probably be able to dial it in.
How many lanes will you guys have running for the colors? Will you guys have all the color options running at once, or will you guys do select runs?
It goes by color. So that running color comes because the hopper comes down and that distributes the product over the shingle.
Okay.
So we do colors at a time. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll do this color and then it just changes.
Okay.
So within that product line will stay. So we'll run Dynasty for whatever it is, 2 or 3 weeks, then we'll switch to Cambridge, switch to.
Well, you know the importance of the strong house solutions that we're all involved with, our company and the others. I mean, we just made a big change from what we're doing to you guys.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
Huge.
I mean, this is gonna
Huge.
be really huge. I'm not even gonna ask the question, can you handle it?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can handle it, but you really know what's happening?
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, because you're about to get an influx.
Well, here's-
$500 million worth of business,
Yeah.
all of a sudden says, GAF sucks, IKO's the king.
Wow.
It's gonna be a
Someone's
real
smart
deal.
in your organization, right? So
Yeah.
let me. Who's
It's
built to
It's not
manufacture?
that they suck, Gaff and Owens Corning, it's just that they're too proud of themselves.
Yeah.
So, it's like
And,
Coke
yeah.
and Pepsi. Pepsi will follow you around and kiss your ass for eternity because they wanna be Coke. They're never gonna be.
Yeah. Good
No,
analogy.
listen, let's be
Good
real.
analogy.
When we talk about, and I'll be an ass, and I don't mind saying it, right? So for so long, because I was a contractor, so I get it, right? So how much money do you think those other 3-letter words? How much money did they print? Like giving you a piece
Oh
of
yeah.
paper.
No, you're right.
that
The
said, I
advertising
give you-
itself, yeah, is.
If I
is
had it,
through the
I'd be
roof.
selling that shit too.
Yeah.
You're talking hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
by producing a piece of paper that says we're going to take care of this roof for the next 50 years, right? So I think that we understand that now in the world of Florida, at least, that sounds great, but in 10 years, my insurance policy premiums are going to start to increase, right?
Yeah.
We all know that. I can tell you where mine started and where they ended. And then year 15, you're getting that non-renewal letter. It's happening. So how am I going to, as a decent contractor, going to go into the market now and sell something and say, oh, I'm going to give you a 25-year platinum. I'm going to give you a master elite this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I called you because now which I just had last year, my insurance went up to $7,700 a year. And it was 34. So someone explained, like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
So that's where our business is, IKO being a family-run business, giving you 15 years of non-proration out of the wrapper because we understand what that product's going to last.
So that's
That's a good point.
granules. That's the shingle nail. That's install material. Everything for.
So if there's
15 years?
yeah, so let me give you what that means, right? So
Okay.
if there's everything, we're 130 miles an hour, we're limited lifetime, we're
Okay.
everything else that everybody is. But the most important part about that warranty is that non-prorated period.
Okay.
So where everybody else is 10 years,
Yeah.
right? I think Atlas still has a 15. We're 15 years.
Okay.
It's not a system warranty. It doesn't have to have our starter and our hip and ridge and all the other ventilation. We don't do ventilation.
Okay.
So you go to your distributor, find out what the best cost is on your underlayments and your ridges and all the other stuff.
So does IKO make any other besides the ridge and the shingle?
So starter, hip and ridge.
Starter, hip and ridge.
Yeah.
Starter
Okay.
Hip and Ridge, they also have an ice water.
We
ice
have
and
an
water
underlayment.
Oh, IKO has ice and water as well.
Yes, they do.
Okay. With the warranties, are we 3 IKO products to get it or two? So you gotta have 2 IKO products at least to make sure you pass on the warranty, which is pretty standard. But if you get in a situation where in some markets we're like, we gotta put a roof fucking on quick before it gets cold, so we're grabbing what ridges are available for this, so you have a mix and match type roof. But just keep that in mind, 2 minimum. We try and do.
Field and Hip and Ridge, that's it.
Yeah, and here's the thing that you need also.
That's good. That's
I don't
a good thing.
know From a sales perspective, do we do good, better, best? Do we do synthetic and this and that?
No.
Do we give
Well,
options?
everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what, I pitch the GAF Silver Pledge every single time. This is what we do. We don't do anything else because this is what's the best, and why would
Sure.
you choose something else? So that's the only option that I give them,
Okay.
as of right now, as of a week and a half ago.
Sure.
Now they're getting something else.
Correct.
So, that would be my biggest question, because along with that silver pledge and then the ability to go golden, and the only time I ever did that was if somebody else offered it to them, then I would say, counteract that with, okay, well, can they even offer it to you? And most of them can't.
Right.
And then, but we can. What is your contractor extended warranty program, and what do we have to do there? Because that's the way that I'm going to pitch it.
Good
I'm
call.
not- I'm not good, better, best. It's best.
Rip that page
And that's
out of
it. Right.
No.
No, Nordic.
So 15 year out of the box.
Is standard, okay.
Okay. Dynasty. We're only talking about Dynasty.
Right, yeah, we're staying, all right.
Staying on Dynasty, 15 years.
Wait a minute, before Cambridge is less on that
Cambridge is
warranty?
exactly what everybody else is, 10 year.
10 year, okay, then
130
cool,
limited
we don't have to
lifetime,
worry
10
about
year.
anything, all right.
If you're in that situation, know you're matched up just as well. That Cambridge outperforms Timberline.
Okay,
It's
it's good, yeah.
It's the same product.
Numbers.
Same product.
And Dynasty is class 3, class 4.
Class 3.
Hail impact? No. Because the new GAF
So there's a
HCC
plan.
has a hail impact warranty that we're class 3 with hail impact testing, that customers are getting a discount off their insurance for.
We need to look at the wording in that, right? Because it's a play on words with that particular warranty.
It
It's a
is?
Class 3, yeah.
I was gonna say, cause a class 3 isn't.
It's just the
hail
size of
warranty.
the-
Yeah, so,
Well, no, I mean, State Farm and some of the other insurance companies have noticed it. Well, they GAF sent out the literature that said we are now hail impact resistant class 3. And State Farm immediately picked it up and said, we're offering a discount for class 3.
So yes, we are that exact statement.
Yeah.
So yeah, IKO can do that?
Yeah, because
Really?
it's wording, right? So it's
Okay.
class 3, but then you look at.
You gonna give us
Same
that
thing as a
wording in
Titan
writing
X.
print is my question.
Yes. Yes.
Like, give me, I need
Yes.
something in print. Is that's
I
fine
had
if
a
you can get
conversation with
that.
a contractor the other day that was basically like, oh, now with frontline
I've got it
insurance-
recorded. We'll get it. We
So
want-
yes, we're good.
Frontline insurance is Titan XT. We want to do this because it's 160 miles an hour. And I go, that's great. I said, what happens at 75? And he goes, well, what do you mean? I go, well, warranty's null and void. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, I could save my fucking shingles 290 miles an hour. Any warranty that you read, when you read the exclusions, and the first named storm, when there's a named storm, that is null and void.
Right. I mean,
So
that
the
doesn't-
mile, so there's always a little bit of a
I
play
mean,
on
that's
that.
the pitch anyways. All these are good unless they name it, and then it's.
Yeah.
And then in your world, you want it to be an insurance. claim.
Yeah.
That's why we're in business
Yeah.
to do it. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna go out. Listen, I say that, but then on the flip side, if you have a great contractor or a great customer, you just did 300 squares on this nice, beautiful. If you have 129.5 mile an hour wind that comes through here that's registered,
What's up, brother?
you can file that with IKO.
Okay.
Warranty.
Did Dynasty go from 4 to 3 back in 2000 or 1997, 98, 99, whatever it was?
So Dynasty was not around back then.
So we sold at Thomas Construction IKO Dynasty.
It could
Hail
have been
impact,
something-
class 4, and then later on, I believe they stopped making it or they changed it. There was a big class action lawsuit thing. The whole pitch was vertically integrated,
Yeah.
family-owned company, make our own asphalt, make our own
Yeah.
mat, make our own granulars, no batch colors.
Yeah.
Get them from anywhere, it's gonna be the same color, there's no problems there. Roll them up like a newspaper right in front of the homeowner with a GAF shingle, fan them out, no granulars fall off of this one, the whole bit,
Yeah.
right?
Is that still
So
the
is
case?
that the Dynasty that we're talking about today?
So when you're looking at that, when you had that class action, you were probably looking at, it was an organic felt base.
I don't
It wasn't
think so.
fiber. It was
I think it was
fiberglass.
fiberglass, yeah.
So most of the class action stuff that was out there for all of the manufacturers was
Yeah.
organic base.
Yeah, I mean, they all had it, I'm not saying IKO was different, they've all had a class action.
I would have to
all, but-
look at that. I don't know that answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that Dynasty. So Dynasty really just came back. We've had a Dynasty for about 8 or 9 years.
Okay,
as
so
far
this was
as
a
it's-
Dynasty even.
So a class 4, yeah. So they must have rebranded and did something else. We have a class 4 that's Nordic. That's when I said rip that out of there. It's just not a good product for Florida. It's an SBS, right? It's a very soft. It's got a lower, the
Okay.
softening point's different, right? To take that impact.
Right.
If you're out where you're, back where your license plates are from, that's a
So
different
maybe
story.
that's what it was before,
It could have
because of
been.
the impact. I mean, it wasn't called that before, but it was called something.
So then Nordic, we do not want to push.
Not down here.
Okay, not down here.
So, but it's, my wonder is just the pitch, I'd like to see one of them and roll it up like we used to. 'cause
Well, yeah, that's what
if
I'm-
it's still that deal and it is softer and holds the granulars better to take that impact, that's probably why the granulars stay on better when you roll it up like that.
And you want to know what one of the biggest reasons and the difference between when you did that to what it is now? So that when you say 90s, 98.
95 to
Damn it, you
I just
old
don't know.
man.
I wanted to see what you would dig yourself.
Yeah.
95 to 2000,
Yeah,
selling
man.
them in 97,
Yeah,
98.
You were with your dad. You were like 10, right?
I was with Thomas Construction in Erie, which Erie still sells your deal.
The Erie's a big part of.
We were their competitor in the St. Louis region.
So then you can't use the roll up thing. Don't use that.
So here's the biggest thing: pool test and all those things. We can talk about that. We'll look at a shingle and
Yeah.
talk about the finer points of what's important. The biggest difference between that and now is the weight of that shingle.
Yeah.
So back then, that shingle was 280 to 310 pounds. Right? So what that means is there was a hell of a lot more asphalt in that shingle than there is today.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in the low 200s now, right? Between us and Certainty, we're probably the heaviest shingles on the market, no doubt. There's no question about that. We're probably 210 to let's just say 215 for easy math, right? I guarantee you that GAF shingle is probably close to 180. So we're taking 100 pounds a square, 3 bundles. Where did 100 pounds go?
Yeah.
We've taken the asphalt
And they're a
out.
little bit bigger, so they're true to.
They're actually the only shingles in the market that are total square.
Yeah.
So your waste factor actually. goes
IKO
down.
is the only one that's true to the square.
That is correct.
And Atlas does have.
And that just means typically we lose a little bit when we order based on.
Well,
'cause-
0.33 times 3 is 0.99.
Yeah, so we lose a little bit when we order. We have to order extra. It's
No.
harder for those
Yeah,
guys to
you
get.
guys
up
will
there.
dial that in from a production standpoint. You'll start to see those waste factors, and whoever does that. if you're
Yeah, the
using-
waste factors are much better for us.
So going back on your question, which was really important, right? So you're talking about longevity. If we get a storm, well, we're getting storms every single day in the southeast that affects our manufacturing, right? So we've got tornadoes going through the Midwest and the southeast. So when you talk about the vertical integration of the company and the growth of the company back into the marketing world, when we've got that plant now in Jacksonville. So Silicaga was 2015. We built a new plant in Hillsboro, Texas in 2018. Jacksonville will be 2025.
That'll be how many plants that you
So
have?
we'll have 8 in North America.
In North
right?
America,
But
right.
really what I'm getting at is where your affected area, you'll have 10 years, you'll have 3 brand new plants. There's not one manufacturer that's put a plant in, right?
Yeah, they're
There's
closing.
not.
They're closing
So
down.
now OC has been on allocation since
Yeah.
who knows when,
Hey,
right?
yeah.
Certainty was struggling, GAF struggles with certain colors because they're only producing at a certain capacity. So you tell me, as these weather events, there's tornadoes and hell every single day, we're gonna get another storm from Carolina to Texas,
Yeah.
no doubt. That's gonna tell you who's gonna be able to.
Yeah, you guys have always been able to
Position.
keep up, which has surprised me because even in some markets, I had no idea. They're like, "Yeah, we've got some here." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
And
all right.
listen, let's not blow smoke up your ass. I mean, we're a smaller company, right? We're not
Right.
GA, we're not OC, we're not doing the numbers that they're doing. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But our growth is going to get there one day.
Does IKO still manufacture the granulars for Certainty and some of those other places like they used to?
I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, we've always done right. So where most everybody has been 3M, right?
Right.
So we've sold granule, right,
Right.
to other folks. We used 3M for a while when we had some issues and some manufacturing challenges. That's why it was such a big push. I just say Southeast because it's better, right? For us to put the glass plant and the new. And the other thing about the facility in outside of St. Louis, you got to find the right rock, right? So
Yeah,
the
that's
rock
what I was
that
going to
we're
ask. You
producing
said
in
you've
Canada-
got two plants that manufacture the rock, right?
Yeah, so we're pulling rock right now out of Canada. So the
Okay.
new plant, the grounds that's going on, we had identified from a geological standpoint the exact same rock. So
Okay.
again, they're saying that they're going to pull that rock out of there for 60 years. That's
Right
how
on.
big this facility is.
The one in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Or Canada? St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah.
Oh, badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that will put us into a position where we potentially could manufacture for others. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Do your international numbers compete with GAF's North American numbers?
In what regard? We're the largest
Sales.
in the world.
Yeah, in sales.
Because we do so.
Do y'all sell more than GAF in the world,
Oh, yeah.
or
Oh,
than
yeah.
GAF?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
North America is owned by GF, right? Southeast Florida is owned by GF.
yeah.
You go down there, it's GF1OC.
So what other countries can we go work that you guys are selling?
can show you.
Shit.
We can do
Where's
it.
your, I want to know where your biggest markets are.
So
Let's
here-
get those
and
lists.
you-
and see. Yeah.
Where do you want to go, man? Where do you want to go?
There you go.
Where do you want to take your slingshot? That's the big question.
Yeah. So again, the family story is cool, right? I mean, we're damn near 75 years, 1951. I'm not good at math, but it's pretty darn close to that. We do so many things that people just don't know about, like the stone coated. It's in your backyard. The Decra facility that's out in California, right? It's being all of that's consolidating, and it's right now it's in Ennis, Texas.
So then let's circle back to the warranties he was asking
Yeah.
about. Where are we at? How did the warranties work? What are the upgraded warranties and stuff like that?
Yeah. So we need to look at, this is a big thing, who is in control? Are we going to be setting up multiple accounts or locations?
No, it's one account.
One
We,
account.
yeah, it's one account. We,
Is that out of Texas? now?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it'll be
So the main-
different, well, it'll be different locations though, so yeah, like right now, if you go on, we're gonna keep talking about GAF.
Yeah.
Go on GAF's website, we may be Master Elite and listed on their website in Texas. But then when we are down here, we had to go through a process to get
Yeah,
entered in.
Certification,
yeah. So there are
certification
things
for
we've got to
here,
hit
and
to
for there,
get.
and for here.
Yeah.
So looking at what I see today, we might have to have some questions if you guys can be certified or not. But we'll just- we need to make sure that we'll put them. We need to get them on Craftsman Premier, right? We need to do
Yeah.
that, regardless of them having squares in our system. So it's not as sexy as GAFs, right? It's just not, because our going back to.
You don't have to make it sexy, I'll make it sexy.
You make it sexy.
Just tell me what it is.
So 15 years
Yeah.
out of the box, your Craftsman Premier is the top level, right?
Okay.
So with that, if you want to go sell our longest extended warranties, you can offer another 5 years.
Okay.
You can go to 20 years for a whopping $75.
20
Okay.
years is the longest, and that's non-prorated, is
That's
what you're
correct.
saying?
Yes, sir.
But there's no full 40-year. The warranty,
Still-
the lifetime warranty is 40-year.
Correct.
Prorated, limited, all the
Yeah, when
bullshit.
you get to that 40 years, then that's basically you're getting.
Okay, but there's no full 40-year complete warranty out there. Okay. Because that's Golden Pledge pretty much does that bullshit, even though there's 10,000 ways for them to get out of it. But that's what he was asking. So 20
20
year
years full.
is okay.
Basically, that product is.
Cool. Well, then they get a 15
And how
year.
many, and we don't have to put.
Oh, do you have to upgrade more than two? Is it three
It's
then?
3. You gotta have
Okay.
3 that are available.
You guys miss. We've got to have 2 year or 2 products, specific IKO products on the
So,
roof to
starter-
ridge and
starter field,
shingle
starter
field,
to
and
get the
ridge.
warranty, and it's a
Right.
15 year
Fortunate right now in
non-prorated bumper to bumper
that you don't
warranty.
have to use our underlay.
Yeah, so that's the
That's-
easy thing.
You can use.
But you have
cross-
an underlay.
Correct.
I
That
mean, I
could
would do that.
change over time.
Do you have access to your underlayment down here?
Yes.
Can we get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
is not right now.
Yeah.
And the underlayment is what?
Fortunate
15s,
is that
30s, synthetics, what is it?
Just peel and stick. Just your granular,
Oh,
your
really?
sand-based peel and stick.
That is gonna say, yeah.
Do contractors complain about the peel and stick of walking on it and the granules slipping off?
I will make it real simple. You guys have heard of Action Roofing and All Face Roofing, they do new construction.
Okay.
Here across South Florida, they use it. And I've
That's-
never heard
So
of
what does that
complaints.
mean? Yeah.
Meaning
Well, I
they
said-
hold on 90% of the roofs.
I don't do peel and stick on the deck anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't, not for shingles. We don't use peel and stick.
You
on
guys
Well,
use
yeah,
mostly
yeah.
synthetics.
Yeah, well, I do seam tape and synthetic. on
Seam
all
tape
mine.
is
Seam
synthetic,
tape
which
is
is a common
synthetic.
thing here on the West Coast. Over there on the Southeast, a lot of people use direct deck, like APOC, Storm Shield.
Really?
Polyglass IRX.
I wonder what the
direct
price
deck.
comparison
With-
is on
I
that
do
to
on all-
So
synthetic.
you're double,
So-
you're
Yeah.
double, you're
I'll
double
look into
layer
that.
synthetic or tape and synthetic.
So here's the difference, is that the peel and stick is a little bit less expensive to buy than buying the seam tape and the synthetic, because you're buying
Right.
two products.
Yeah.
But if you look at the options that the insurance company, in the code, it says double synthetic, seam tape and synthetic, or peel and stick direct to deck.
Yeah.
When we bill the insurance company, we can always get the middle version of those three. The insurance company pays the most on the middle, even though it costs us a little bit more. So we make more money.
So
by
it's
doing-
better to do the direct to deck then?
No.
It's better to do the
better
tape
to
and
do
the
tape and the synthetic,
Synthetic,
because you'll
okay.
make more profit margin.
makes sense.
And the insurance company will pay less.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Alright, so seam tape and synthetic is the better way.
So now,
So me
by all means,
being
look
the
at the
vet-
county that you
Okay.
And Fred knows that better than anybody else here.
Yeah. All right.
And me being the devil's
Um,
advocate, you guys are different. Things are built different. 99.9% of the people that you're going to compete against are going direct to that.
Yeah.
They're going to sell them things. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
so you
because
know,
it
that's
does-
perfect, because the whole idea is to be different than that.
They're not going to provide anything outside of double layer synthetic,
Nope.
right?
Yeah.
the consumer side of that is they want a direct to deck because they're gonna get, if it's $37 off their insurance, because they're gonna get the secondary water barrier.
But they get that
rating.
with the seam tape too. So they
Oh,
get
they
it with,
do?
Yeah, they get it with the
Oh
seam
damn,
tape.
I
and
didn't know
synthetic.
that. All right.
And
It does classify as a secondary, depends, right? It
Yeah.
classifies as a secondary water barrier on the
Oh,
seam tape.
badass. Okay.
Now
On the
then, will you
synthetic.
look at going like full fortified and doing edge
Yeah.
station?
Yeah, I've seen the guys do that.
I don't. The reason why I don't like the direct to deck is because, well, it already says that the code says that you have 2 layers of roofing material on there. It's got to come all the way down to the deck. There's that, right? It says it. Whether they enforce that or not, whatever the case is. But once you go direct to deck, you're not getting that shit off. So my pitch against that is, do you want to replace all your fucking decking the next time? that
Oh
you
yeah,
do
that's
this
true.
roof?
And doesn't it get hot
Because there's
and
a
get those
5%
granules popping
There's a
more
5%
too?
cap on code upgrades, so in 5 years, if these are all torn off again, they could come back and say, the deck's gotta be done, but we're only paying for 5% of it.
If I'm a roofing contractor, and this is what you guys are gonna run into right now, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I guarantee you 75+% of the roofs that you guys go to re-roof are all gonna be direct to deck.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you're gonna
yeah,
have,
all over the place.
you're not going to get to the deck, first of all. You're already gonna have your new nail off, you're gonna be 6 inches on the center.
With
EC.
shingle roofs, I haven't run into
Yeah,
that too
they're doing
much.
it.
I'm telling
They're
you.
doing it.
They're all doing it.
Now that you move to what, to the southeast?
Oh, on the
You're gonna see
okay,
it.
all right.
Every roof you get on over there is gonna be peel and stick.
Okay, that
North
side,
of Palm
yeah.
Beach.
But
Everything-
No shit.
The
Okay.
peel and stick is a mod bit material anyways, yes,
Yes.
similar, right?
You're
And,
looking between,
it's what, 20 mil?
you're gonna be anywhere from mid-20s up to 30.
What, the regular pin sticks are about 40, 45. Some
So
are
it's
50.
half.
GAF is actually 50.
So it's half of what TU
T
plus is.
plus. Yeah, 80 mil.
Say that again.
Actually,
What is?
And it's
The
sandwich.
peel and
peel and
stick
stick.
is what?
Somewhere between
The
20
thickness.
and 40
Mils.
Warren?
mils.
Mil.
Oh,
yeah,
mil,
thickness of
okay.
it, yeah.
The TU plus is 80. So the TU
okay.
plus we put under the tile is 80. That's only 20 to 40, or he says maybe GAS, the thick GAS.
I think it's the Storm Guard. is
Storm
on
Guard.
I think that one's 40, 35, 40, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's just
maybe
say
40,
it's
so it's
30
double
range.
as thick. So there's another.
I get the specs for that one.
To sell against it.
Sell against it.
To sell against it. All right, that makes sense.
I don't know.
All right,
if-
so
I don't
talk.
know
What
if
is
the
the?
question with when you said something about the granule?
Yeah, slipping on them when they get hot, walking
I
on
didn't-
granulated.
No,
ice.
were you mentioning something? So a synthetic or a felt is
Uh-huh.
going to be better from a performance standpoint for the shingle than a peel and stick, a direct to deck, because the permeability. There's transmission right through
Yep.
the other products. The best product to use is felt.
Right on.
For the performance of a shingle, for the longevity.
Yeah,
If
that-
you want
that-
to get technical.
That's
think
what I was
you're
talking
getting
about.
at.
So the heat,
Yeah.
I've always been, because it's so hot in Florida, I've always been against that direct to deck shit because it gets hot underneath, it doesn't breathe, and those granules pop easier. They
It
start
doesn't-
to
yeah, it
come
doesn't
out.
breathe,
So
and it just
yeah,
seals that whole
doesn't breathe.
envelope
So
up.
yeah,
That's
that's
the other
that's
thing
always
about it.
been my argument. But so then, what products? Let's go back through it again. You guys manufacture the entire product. You even sell some of your product. This product is heavier than the other products. What is the benefit of it being heavier? What are some reasons? It's a more durable shingle. Does that mean that there's just going to be more granules falling off, or is there a sealant that keeps them in better than other products? What would we say to that?
So the biggest thing is weight.
Weight.
If you're
Okay.
talking about that. So the four things with Dynasty versus everything else.
Okay.
Weight, class 3 impact, reinforced nail strip, right?
Yeah.
Which everything's
Okay.
gonna be class 3 in the next year or two because they're all, it's bullshit marketing, right? And
Right.
I'm not saying that ours is.
Like limited life, same thing.
Yeah,
Same
middle
thing.
thing. That was
Your
GAO,
shingle.
by the way.
I know.
That wasn't good though. I
We
like
all had to
that.
follow.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
It's kind of price increase. That's all.
Yeah.
And then where was I? Last thing is the 15 years not parade. So weight, reinforced nail strip, class 3.
Our Craftsman Premier is $75.
Correct, and you jump up. So going back to that, what that means is, so you've got a fiberglass mat right?
Okay.
Again, that shingle was, let's just say for easy math, was 300 pounds.
Okay.
Now we're 200. We've taken the amount, I always reference a cake, right? We got all that cake batter, we got all of that nice icing that's on there, and then we go to sprinkle, put our sprinkles on the top of it. More is going to embed in the thicker vat of batter.
Okay,
Right,
that
so-
makes good sense.
Right, so granules, and that's how I like to tell a customer as well. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
making it that way, because sometimes they just don't understand that process, right? So we've got all this cake batter, we throw the sprinkles on it. There's more that's going to be embedded. Longer longevity of the shingles. That's the weathering layer, right? So it's
okay.
going to get beat down, sun, water, all the other things that are going to happen. Less, it's got better granular retention.
Okay.
So weight is important in a shingle.
Is
That way you said it right
13
there, it's granular retention.
Granular retention.
Yeah, that's
Granular
the word.
retention.
Is there any truth to what I've heard is that when they make a shingle and they put the granules on there, they add extra for shipping and installation because some's gonna come off, right?
Yeah, they just saturate that thing. That sucker's loaded.
So there is extra for that reason, because
But when you say extra, right? So there's not a process of anything that's going to be removed, because, and I'd love to take you guys to the plant.
Yeah.
Right? Let's get to
That'd be
Alabama.
good for all.
and
There's a
just
great
see-
golf course there, by the way, and a shooting range too.
All
And
right.
it's in
Can you
Alabama.
get there
All
by
right.
boat?
Alabama. Yeah, he just came from there. He lives there.
We can do
We
that.
might have to take a boat, then an airboat.
Yeah.
We can get there.
Oh
We
shit.
can get there by boat.
But,
We can figure out how to get there by boat.
No,
What is the bay boat?
no,
Yeah.
that one stays on the list. Let's just get that out the door. No, airboats, yes.
But when that process, when that's coming through the line, right? I don't know what that, if that's been said before, because everything because after that line, once the granules drop, it continues to the line, and then it's actually cooled down.
Well,
it goes through a soap and a water that cools it down. So what's embedded at that point is basically embedded. So I don't think there's anything that's on the top that's going to saturate into something that's not already.
well, because we do get a lot of granules. We always tell the
Yeah, you
homeowners
take that-
once the job's done, just so you know, you're gonna see granules for a month. That's
Yeah.
just because shipping and all that. That's
It's
what
being-
we're yeah.
So now it's through there, we move it.
That's
we put it
a
in
common
pallet.
question people ask, is hey, how come so much of my new roof's
It's gonna
in my
be-
driveway every day? It rains?
But IKO is still gonna be heavier.
Yeah.
Even
You might-
after
you
all
might-
the
so
shit,
that
it's still
question-
gonna be
that
heavy.
might be even more, right? So there's more granule that's on an IKO shingle versus
That makes
someone else
sense.
because of the amount of asphalt.
I could say this, and Fred remembers this when I used to work in a warehouse. But when I used to load all the trucks and stuff, working in the warehouse. I've moved all these shingles around, and bags rip. It's common. You're loading pallets, you're moving pallets, bag rips. Customers bring back returns. Okay. Every time I bring the returns back that our bags are broken, you see it pours out the amount of granules on a lot of
Yeah,
manufacturers.
yeah.
I've never seen it that much with IKO, and that's an actual fact because I've worked it.
Yeah.
On the forklift, moving
Eric
bubbles,
really
around.
loves him some IKO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it also,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't say it because
Yeah.
it's bad, but also because our ends of our wrappers are open.
Okay.
So maybe it's escaping there too. Yeah.
All right.
Reason-
Smart move.
What about
Ridge. What is the difference in Ridge?
Yeah, do you
So
have a high
we've
profile
got
ridge? I hope you do because they're
ventilation.
selling it.
No?
ventilation. We don't do ventilation.
no, the
High
Ridge.
profile ridge.
Oh,
The
sorry,
ridge
yes,
cap. Yeah, the ridge cap.
Yes, we have the HP, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
what
what's
is
it called?
what is the regular one and what is the upgraded one, the thicker Ridge?
So HP, we have an HP Ridge, and then the other is just called our HR12. So Hip and Ridge 12 is
That's the thicker one.
no sir.
So
That's the
HP is the.
It's called Ultra HP.
All right.
I'll grab the Hip and Ridge. So HR12 is basically Hip and Ridge 12.
Yeah.
Is what is sold as our regular.
Oh, that's standard.
Yep.
All right.
So we do.
And is that still the same 15-year warranty as well? Okay. Very good. And then, but if we go with thicker, it doesn't matter. Change the warranty. It's just all design. Okay, that's good to know.
This guy's over here upselling.
I like it the other way.
Yeah.
Can you move it so that the
Can you-
regular
can
hip and
you-
ridge
can-
only has 5 and then the rest of them has?
Yeah. No shit. Where do we get money on that? Yeah.
So what I was going to tell you is the IKO stands for Isidore Kashitsky Organization.
Shit. What?
So Kashitsky. So
German.
It's Shitsky. That's all I'm gonna remember now.
Wait, who's? What does it sound?
So here's,
Shitsky.
here's without going through the whole presentation, we're actually Polish, right? Polish.
Oh, that's fucking close to Germany.
So the Canada, right? We're a Canadian company.
Yeah.
I correct everyone. I'm like, no, we're not. We're actually Polish, and they're like, oh, that's not even better. But the
I
really
love
cool-
your sausages.
The really cool part of the story is, which is serious, is the family, they were being invaded by the Germans, right? So Hitler was coming in, the family got together, and it was basically, where the hell do we go? How do we get out of here? So that was the whole thing, is they actually met again in Canada and started the business back. So it's a really, really cool story. When
Oh,
you
wow,
look at it.
that's
I
pretty
could send
cool.
it to one of you guys to see the
Yeah.
whole 180 slide presentation.
That's really
not
good to
today,
know.
but it is a
Definitely help you
fantastic
sell some
story.
Jewish people.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
Jewish community.
Yeah, you are lying.
If you want to run a lead, there's
Yeah.
one out in Okeechobee right now. It's called Amboy, and I used that card and I got that job. So I don't know who's shipping that.
So say it again. IKO stands for what?
Isidore Kashitsky Organization.
Isidore Kashitsky.
Yeah, we're in the fourth
Isidore
generation.
So Ben, you
Kashitsky.
could
The,
drop a bomb
our-
on impact resistant shingle and nothing will happen to it.
Our leader right now is David Kashitsky. And
Oh,
David
he's-
will be passing it down. So,
The Kashitsky's family is still alive,
Yes.
around, and okay.
and very involved.
Awesome. Okay.
Very. So that's the cool part of it.
They're bringing us steak and lobster.
Yeah.
No, Eric.
You didn't hear the first part where they don't spend any money except for on manufacturing.
They don't do advertising either. That's hold on.
You're right. No advertising, no marketing.
So going back to that comment where we suck at marketing,
Yeah.
we are.
What's up,
Hey,
Mike?
we're already done.
We are a grassroots as
There's
a
sandwiches
family,
over there.
right? So that being said, I don't have anything on the paper that says, all right, this is what we're doing marketing wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all of those things from performance. When you're on the Craftsman Premier, we have rebate programs and all of those things for you, right? But you bring opportunities to us, we will spend money.
Got it.
Right on.
I had a customer last year, GAF. They come from a big company out of Orlando called J.A. Edwards. Huge, right? Stormer. They defected, started their own business. Never bought an IKO shingle. They couldn't spell IKO, right? I took them to the Masters last year, and they're like,
Oh, I can't wait to go to the Masters. That's gonna be awesome.
So if I sell
Nothing
better
but
IKO
that
roofs, they can be to the Masters?
Yes, that's what's my point.
Hey, listen,
I can't wait for
we-
us to go to the Masters.
we, he called last week.
Can I drop that bomb? Sure. So, one of your fellow teammates, related,
Fred.
no, related,
Oh, okay.
Related.
Related. all right.
related teammate, but related to this man,
Okay.
called me up because he's a diehard hockey fan with me, and he goes, man, I really want to go to Game 6. I said, okay, let me make some phone calls. Call Ryan. So he goes, hey, we got your tickets, we're gonna go. So when I took Trey Orloff to the game on Game 6 of the conference title, Trey Orloff sat 3 rows back from the ice.
I saw those
I saw the
photos.
pictures.
That looks cool.
Okay, those tickets were not cheap.
Yeah. Well,
Those were
So-
about $2,700.
So you listen. No offense, but you guys can't go back because you jinxed us.
yeah, they did lose that night. They did lose that night. Yeah.
Not my fault.
I was in Montana.
And Lexi had a great time.
Okay.
That was
That's all that matters.
that was
Lexi had a
the
great time.
Trey Orloff curse.
Yeah.
So listen, when you guys are back to that, right? If you need something, if we need to do something one-off, if we're having some marketing challenges, if you let us know what that is.
Cool.
So we'll do one-off stuff. We've got money to spend. We got money to spend of ABCs as well, right? We're
Right
not afraid
on.
to do that.
But you guys know it, that's easy.
So, okay, so back to the shingle.
Yep.
Talk to me about the nailing hem and
Oh, good call.
the sealants.
Shit, right, bro.
Yes, the sealant.
So there's so what we did, you can pass those around, I got a few. All right, so manufacturing.
Anybody want water?
Owens
I'll take
Corning.
one, please.
for so long, right?
Cool.
I want that water though. Can you pass me one, Yuri?
I guess you guys would probably say duration's a pretty decent product.
Water.
Is anybody selling duration?
No. I mean, I know.
So go ahead and pull that tab. Here's one of the biggest things that I like to do. And you look at this, I was gonna bring my GAF shingles, but you guys can all do this the next time you pull a GAF. When you pull this tab, it's gonna be a hell of a lot easier than this. I'll let you finish that.
Got it,
one.
okay.
So if you look there, on that tab, there's 4 strips. You pull a GAF, you're gonna see 2.
All
If you
right.
pull anybody else's, there's gonna be the same amount as well.
Lift that up, then, so he can get it on the camera.
I got it.
This or this?
So that's important, right? You guys
Okay.
see the failures, you know where they're gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good photo, see that?
We talked about the reinforced nail strip. Duration basically invented it. We took it, tried to make it better, right? So we were manufacturing them for a long time. We put the reinforced nail strip on the back. Your installers are gonna love it because they're not going through that top edge and they're gonna get their hook blade stuck every single time. Then you gotta think about when we're blowing through a shingle, which happens often, right? Our installers are out there. I would say a vast majority of the time, they're going through that sure nail strip anyway, right? When they're nailing not completely flush, when they're at an angle, when they blow through. We found out the testing was better to have that strip on the back.
So they just put synthetic back there.
Yeah, it's basically a woven strip that goes on the back. I'll show you guys a video at the end, which is really cool. There's the actual bed, here's the product. If you look at that one, that's the actual strip that's on the back of the shingle. I don't know if this makes sense for y'all in the home when you're selling. Are you guys?
What is that?
That's
So
the
that's the actual nail, that's the woven
Oh, it's
strip.
like
Oh, so that's in the
embedded
back.
strip in the back.
Yeah.
So the nail is going through the strip up here. This is on the back of that.
It's actually, if you
So
turn
what
that,
it
if you turn
does
that
is
board around, you'll see it.
it makes it harder for it to come.
Yeah, turn that board around.
Turn that board
Yeah,
completely
I see
You
upside
can
down.
see that cut out.
Oh, yeah, right there, right
Let me
there.
see.
All right, here's,
Here.
because I like to be
Right here.
real in this world. We talked about reinforced nail strips and all those other things.
Yeah.
We got it, duration's got it, Tango's got it. Everyone will have that, right, at some point. What I like, that's the second line of defense, rather when you think about it, right? So uplift, fast lock sealant, those things are more important than that reinforced nail strip,
Yeah.
to me.
Fast lock sealant.
That's just what we call our sealant.
No, that's fine.
We're always trying to.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got the fast lock sealant, we've got the 4 layers that go through the actual laminate, right? So the dragon's tooth, here's senseless information.
It's like,
sometimes.
but as a salesman, we can't go read the whole brochure to a client.
Yeah.
I'm just getting catchwords from what you're
Right.
saying. Like,
Fast
yeah.
lock sealant, embed granular retention, embedment, reinforced nail strip. If you ever go to a roof, you don't know the shingle, or you're saying it's an IKO, you can look at our shingle and identify that it's ours right away. If you look at what we call the dragon's tooth, or the laminate top, it's straight up and down. Everybody else is tapered. Pretty simple.
Yours is the only walking points, basically.
Oh, gee, it's been a while. It's 2015.
Not over 15, though, right?
No, sir.
You know, the fact of the matter is with this stuff is when we get the okay from the top, this is what we're doing. It's already been,
It's done.
Yeah.
it's a done deal. So we just follow, and we're excited about it. We're excited to make more money. We're excited it's a great product. We're also excited that we're not gonna run out of colors. We're not gonna run out of
Oh.
circles. We're not gonna run out of
yeah.
squares. We're gonna get all the shit we need, as much as that we need, because we're committing to this with you guys.
Sure.
So that's all we ask for, really, is the great service that,
Yep.
we don't need anything extra. We just want what we need. And we need
Fulfill
full-
our
What is our,
orders.
100%.
So along with that, what is our allocation? I know like when GAF runs low on something,
Yeah.
historically, somebody's got a bunch of orders in and then Infinity comes in and says, we need these shingles. Infinity gets those shingles first.
So in the past, you guys have like, remember when we first dealt with the first hurricane, that Derek sent us an email before it went over to, before he did the joint venture with Stronghouse.
Right.
We ran 4 main colors because that's what GAF wanted to run, which was weatherwood, driftwood,
Barkwood,
charcoal,
charcoal.
and shapewood. wasn't it?
Shapewood.
Shapewood,
Yeah.
was it? Okay. With IKO, as of right now, please correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't had a problem getting a shingle in any of the main colors. Your red, your blue, and your green, there is a little bit of lead time.
There is.
A little bit of lead time on those.
You know, and when the crunch time hits is when another COVID hits and we're fucked because we can't get anything from anybody. Or hurricanes hit and everybody's out. You know, these
As long as-
these are the times we dig in and say, please, we need this stuff.
Yeah.
Because we sell roofs all the time, lots of them.
I don't know if
Regardless.
please necessarily comes out, but yeah.
If it does, I'm gonna question that you're a roofer.
I don't know.
Hey, listen here, no.
Well, you said the red, green, it takes a little bit of time. How much time? Like duration?
Yeah, right now we're on a lead time for that, or it's just week, 2 weeks, or
I'm gonna blame this on distribution. It
Okay.
has a lot more to do with that product being on the ground in multiple distribution spots, right, for them. So they have the red, blue, and green. You're gonna see a heck of a lot more of it over on the other coast. I don't know why. It's just on the east coast of Florida, it happens often, right? So, because they do, ABC works very well within their districts to be able to share sometimes as well. Here's the biggest thing. I'll be real with this product, with where you're positioning right now. Dynasty, when I got into my market a few years ago, when I came back, was single digit market share in my district, right? So say I was 8%, 9%, I'm over 30-something% now. The reason being is I believe in that product. I installed it myself, right? What I'm trying to get at is distribution is starting to bring that in, but it is still kind of niche in some areas where
yeah, you don't need an over amount of it.
I'm not going to every distribution yard in his. We're staying true to who we do business with.
Well, that
I'm not going to Beacon and SRS and everybody else is driving Dynasty there. I'm driving Dynasty in direct rifle approach scenarios. to
This
make
kind
sure
of,
that
can I
they're
get that?
Which one?
Biscayne?
Biscayne.
Biscayne's
I
not.
got about 700 squares of it right now.
I'm getting granular on
Right, so
Because
these
somebody
are
wants to
all
do
of
that,
the
but they don't
colors.
want
You
to.
have 8 plants in North America. Are they all running the same colors, or are they doing different
Yeah, so
colors in each one?
Your
Or
product is going to come out of Sylacauga, Alabama, number one. Something catastrophic happens there, right? We can go either to Hillsboro, Texas, or to Kankakee, Illinois. Kankakee used to service Florida.
okay, I know, but what I'm asking is,
No.
are all of them
No.
running the same
Because
colors?
the biggest
or?
reason is in Florida, you have to have product approvals.
Right.
Okay.
Plants have the approval. So I can't go pull product from California or somewhere else.
Yeah, because we have locations nationwide, so we're
Oh,
in different
yeah,
markets
so
all
like-
the time.
Yeah, don't be bootlegging shit into Florida.
yeah,
You
like-
don't have certain colors that are
We do have
specific to
regional. Yeah, we have a few regional colors.
What are those?
You're not going to see anything that's in this book. That
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
So this Sentinel slate is available?
No, sir.
Oh,
On that sheet. So you're going to take this booklet and our boards, and that's all you're going to get.
Okay.
okay. So then this book is.
Chris, can I see that book?
You know, that's what they'll go for too.
Yeah, actually, we need more of those.
We need
Those
more
I
of those.
love.
Yeah, and that's
Those,
what I was
those
gonna
are the
ask you,
best.
like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you're a lot of literature.
Don't
your books.
flood us, but yes, we do
You have all
want
that stuff on a
some.
website easy for me to find because I do it all.
No, I like these
I
though.
like in-home
I like those
presentation.
little.
All I can say is be
books.
careful with the websites. Just like with GAF and just like with Owens Corning and with 17. A lot of homeowners like to go on the website and find a color
Yeah.
that does loan,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not even within the realm.
Yeah, so I don't.
It's not even allowed in the state of Florida because of NOAs or because of Florida Building Code.
We can go in
Those
there and
books,
check
we're
the
gonna
zip
need
code
a
and
lot of
tell us
those
what it
books
is.
for
That
here
is-
and the West Palm office.
Gotcha.
Fred, didn't we get a bunch of IKO stuff
Yeah.
in the office already?
Whole shitload on
Yeah, I
there.
think we already got some. I'll reach out to you, let you know if anything.
Yeah, sorry if it was too much. I sent that.
It was
Okay.
22 cases, it was a lot, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's what we don't want to get.
That was actually Alex that sent that.
Yeah. He said, fuck yeah, I got all this shit. I need some walk space. Yeah.
It's all good.
Every color that's in that book, I pretty much have right now on
Okay.
stock. If not, I've got 2.
But if we
to
can
3.
get some to here is what we
Yeah.
need. We need
Yeah,
those
that's enough.
books. All right, perfect.
What so back into product.
And these.
What do you guys
More of these.
have questions? The sales guys that haven't talked or they
Algae, color,
Yeah.
discoloration. What is the
Algae,
term on that?
perfect. We never have problems.
Never. All right, you got that?
Never had a
You
problem.
got
Oh,
that?
yeah,
It is
those
in
ones
it,
you
we're
get
good.
copper piece granulars. Do you still?
Oh, wow.
And we unfortunately don't publish what that percentage is, but from the world.
But is there a warranty in writing?
Yes, it's 10 years.
10-year algae. Okay, that's good. 10-year
How many-
color protection.
Here's my question. How many times have you gone to a room with an algae?
He just said in a nutshell.
Never.
so-
But-
I was just reading all that.
Have we what?
We're talking about, I don't even care about the warranties, I care about what I can tell people.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to have that ammo to be able to say it.
I think
so-
most of your talking points are on this page.
All right.
Yeah, and if, again, go back to that, weight, greater personnel strips,
Any other
class
questions?
3.
And more retention of granulars.
Yeah.
something like
The
that.
warranty is with 6 nails?
Yes.
Oh, it's 6 nails per shingle.
All right. I'm afraid to say this out loud because
We're gonna do 6, but you got.
you have to use 6 in Florida.
Okay.
It's code.
Right.
Yeah, but we'll get away with 4.
That's what I don't want to say.
Only in one county.
Let me pause that. Let me